I have clearly described the situation, and it was actually 3 years ago that I presented my thesis. Actually, moving forward, however, you got to see like the type of individuals that I met. If I could say clearly, is that up until summer 2018, the police was out of the conversation. However, it's just like an astonishing situation that that they just completely lost their mind actually, and they committed all type of crimes, and they're just committing this, and now you have like corrupt police officers of another nation, and as well as other individuals. Basically, now it's like, to say it clearly, is like the police in this region of North Africa and probably the security services have been involved in allowing attacks on foreign diplomats. Probably now the monarch in the western region is aware about it. The presidents in the eastern region are aware about it, and diplomats of this state are aware about it. However, they couldn't do anything. Now it's like asking them simply for like the smallest things. They are basically unable to do it. It's like even when I talk like outside, or the people who are responsible for this, the youth police officers. You have youth police officers like, or group of youth just above the age of 25 or around the age of 25, criminalizing. They criminalize head of states of other nations. They shame monarchies, and as well as way more. And you should expect that you have like a battalion or a legion or something just arriving to solve the problem. For over 2 years now, for more than 2 years, they didn't resolve the problem. Why? They are just listening to those idiots, to those Nazis, to those scum, who are just spread around causing this situation instead of resolving the problem. Is like it's complete astonishment, to say the most. And it's like I make videos, but like privately I also write, and I write a lot. And you have these type of individuals who are civilians, actually civilians who are criminals too. And there is the situation is like it's not like it never happens before, but like when you see it in real life unfolding like this, the police in this country are completely paralyzed. You tell them this guy has committed a crime against the Queen of England, and he's still enjoying all of his freedoms. That's first. Secondly, you inform like not the UN, but like you inform they're just outside. You inform that this guy is completely crazy. He's a drug addict, and when I say he's completely crazy, I will say it like this. He's like, I cannot, or not I will not, but like I cannot see this situation to keep on continuing this way without an end. You have like the amount of theft. It's not like completely chaos, but like They just don't want to work. They want to cause troubles, and then they expect someone else to resolve it for them. The army said, the army base, when I went with them last time, they assessed the situation and they came with the conclusion that it's not under their jurisdiction. So someone who manufacture crime happening against or in the domain of someone who manufacture military aircraft, it's not in the jurisdictions of the military. And someone who is like committing hacking on the energy industry, meaning electronic access to property on the energy industry and the gas industry especially, it's not within the jurisdiction of the green uniform, or they couldn't resolve the matter. They have like the sixth, probably largest gas reserve in the world. There is a problem in that regard, and so far the green uniform directors couldn't resolve the matter. In such a big scale, they couldn't resolve the matter. In the oil industry, well, OPEC is hosted in Austria. Now there has been like some kind of not misunderstanding but mismanagement of the situation from part of the authorities in Algiers. And well, the police said that no crime had happened. The thing is that those pedophiles, those criminals, those terrorists, those a lot of other things are still outside enjoying their life, stealing more, members of Hamas, this, and they just found time to criminalize me, to open an investigation against me, and that specific person is the president of this state who told him, and he's like a youth cop in his 30th or 28 years old, committing a crime or disrespecting the head of state on a global scene, in worldwide scene. He is disrespecting the head of state, and it keep on continuing. On December 10th, I went to the Central Police in Wilaya 16. Basically, it's not like basically, and this is like real life. Basically, he is committing all kinds of crimes. They are committing all kinds of crimes simply like that, and without intervention from the authorities who keep the situation in place. And they are there. Well, it's like not a religious fanatic, but like greedy people, religious fanatic, as well as a lot more. And to this day, resolving the issue, meaning like taking someone with a relatively moderate priority, to take them out of not the danger zone, but to take them to planet Earth, basically. It didn't happen because he's a crazy, he has a gun, he wears a uniform, in a crazy town, committing all those kinds of crimes, and they're just outside launching war at people to whom we are peaceful with. And he just continuing, and I verified in December 2020 they simply still working there. They're still committing crimes. They are not jailing people. they are attacking foreign leaders. It's like the police became a terrorist organization who causes war, commits state aggression, and way more. And I call on the phone and way more, and they refuse to do anything. And there is like the authority of Algeria, of North Africa, who cannot control these people. They keep them rolling, they keep their paycheck, as well as a lot more. The city, those people that they are paying, they are not jailing other people, they are just there behaving like zombies. That's the situation. And up until today, they have some kind of support from idiots, from racists, from Nazis in the other part of the world, who basically are professional thieves stealing from banks. And to this day, they remained with their how to describe it, if it is craziness or way more, but it exists. And children are in the mix of all of that, banks are in the mix of all of that, diplomats or the UN are in the midst of all of that. The thing is that they committed racial profiling. In this case, on me, they committed like racial profiling, which led them to electronic access to property, which led them to geopolitical affairs, which led them to the UN Security Council. And this persona, or this man, who is appeared to be European from Czech Republic, and there is like the competition commissioner, he looks a lot like that individual. They're simply remaining sitting there, basically justifying their terrorism by attacking head of states. And to this day, I told myself, I wrote, I have bags that I have all the documents that I sent to anyone and to everyone, and they simply are just sitting there behaving like crazy people. I saw like a video in Denmark about the police singing, and I thought myself is that the police stop on doing prostitution, stops on doing pedophilia, stop of robbing banks, and if they can, meaning the Algerian police or the police in North Africa or Italy or this, that the police should start singing, and we give them like a recording house, and via that we give them this. And the situation is that I'm not someone who is coming empty-handed. However, it's not like something out of a movie. The thing is that they're not members, they're simply civilians in a country where the military is strong internationally, perhaps a superpower internationally, and they cause problems, and they're just remaining in that state of mind of of almost attacking everyone on the planet, actually. And this person or the police who are in here, what do is like they do not do their job, but they steal from the postal services, meaning like they steal letters from the postal services and from the telecommunication antenna, and they take over the job of other individuals. And this situation keeps on happening to this very day. And I'm talking about Area 35, where a neighbor who lives downstairs is Iranian. The other guy is a British and a Swedish family, a British and a Swedish family. And myself in Sweden and in Britain, well, like if you go to, I simply stopped analyzing the situation as the amount of craziness and way more keeps on continuing. And it's not like you have like in a population, it's not like you have like 5 million people who are causing all of this, but it's like you have in a population of 5 million people, they're like 2% of the population who cause problems. 2% of the population who are world recognized criminals. More to that, if you go to Sweden, is like you have a town, or like you have like in the entire country, you have like a town which is thankfully there has been like the military there, but like it's like individuals who were uneducated, they lack ethics, and so far even when you present them with not adequate or exquisite or excellent work, they remain in their dementia, in their craziness, and way more. They commit crimes, and myself is like when I presented myself to industries and to people with work, with projects, and way more, they prefer to commit an act of Nazism. Even though you have 2% of the population which could be criminal, you have at least like 7 or 10% of the population who are Nazis, and in this case, it cripples the economy and it cripples the situation. And in my case of Sweden, is like it's like if you go to the United States and see the situation, they have like a debt of $23 trillion, and it's because of these people. They don't hide them. They just leave them near bank accounts. And in the case of Sweden, well, I think that the country, because of the judiciary performances, if they were rational and if they were just, I think they end up like with Sweden will be like a country which has like 100 billion in debt or $200 billion in debt. This is if the judiciary was performing well. If you go to other states, it will be the same situation. Is like countries ripping other people off via all kinds of stubbornness. And to say the most is like the Algerian police in here, many of their members are deliberately deliberately committing criminal acts and are unconsciously committing state aggression, allowing electronic access to property, and causing an act of war. And they just had like to follow procedures in order to how to say this, to revive the economy.